What's up, people? Good afternoon from a sunny day here. I just came outside for a quick walk. I've been bedridden all day. Just one of those days where you desperately just want to get sleep or rest, but you're too restless to get sleep or rest. But you're also too restless to do anything productive or constructive. That's how I felt like my morning was. So yeah, I ended up just alternating between sleeping and watching Netflix and listening to music. I think it's the hospital environment also that's kind of starting to get to me. It's not the easiest environment. It's quite a stressful environment. And sometimes you just want to be at home in your own solitude to relax, to get this deep relaxation that doesn't really happen at the hospital. So yeah, but now I have to wait until Saturday to be able to go home. I got 3 days off, so I'm not allowed to stay at night, but I'm going for the day on Saturday and Sunday. It's been raining, so now it's nice to have some sun. I actually like the warmer the better for me. Yeah. I finished knitting. Okay, we're back. We're back online. My battery died, so I had to go inside and I ate, and now I'm back outside. I think I was talking about my knitting project, so yeah, indeed, I finished the project that I've been working on forever. Really look forward to it, but already in the testing phase, I had to come to the conclusion that it's too small for me, so I'm gonna give it away as a present. So yeah, I think today is a bit more of a calm day than yesterday. Yesterday I struggled with anxiety. I took 3 anxiety medications throughout the day. I think it's part of the process where you're coming from survival mode and your body is learning to not be alert all the time. And where it feels safety, and that's when you sort of lower your guard a little bit, which puts you in a very vulnerable situation. Because I think being in a survival mode is, your stress resistance or ability to cope with stress is better because you're already fucked. So, excuse my language. And that's the norm. But when finally the parasympathetic nervous system starts to kick in, and you're like, this is how things should be. This isn't how things have been, but this is how things should be. And you start to kind of veer towards a more normal existence, at least a more pleasurable existence. That's when you're at a very vulnerable position. You learn to eat again. You sleep like crazy. That's your body healing from long-term stress. I had a point with this, but now I forgot it. Yeah, I think I'm just in this phase of limbo phase of still kind of on edge, but learning to relax. And with that relaxation comes a whole other level of anxiety, because anxiety pretty much is a privilege. You just don't feel anxiety when you're in survival mode because your body's doing everything, fighting much bigger battles. So now that you slow down and you calm down, that's when you're like, ooh, I don't feel good. I really don't feel that great. And it's part of giving up on hypervigilance and learning to exist in your environment with stressors, but now with a new coping mechanism or a more healthy coping mechanism for stress. So I lost my ability to handle stress for quite a long time. That's part of the vulnerable stage of recovery. And now I'm teaching my body to handle stress again, but I need to distinguish between positive stress, which is like, okay, going out for a walk, doing a few push-ups, doing focusing on something, reading something. That's positive stress, and that's kind of like you nudge your body back into health, whereas negative stress is all kinds of outside influences and triggers, which elicit cortisol in the body. So that's what you want to minimize. So now I'm just learning to deal with stress, period. And it's going better than it was, for example, a week ago. And I think that's when you've got the basics, you've got sleep, eat, meditation if you like, safety. When you've got those things, it's a whole lot easier to process trauma as well. So it probably feels like a bit like a gift that keeps on giving, but don't give up, because every day is a step forward. There's no such I don't really believe in going backwards. You might feel great one day and then shit the next, but that's just more shit coming up that you need to deal with. That's a step towards a better feeling. Step towards healing. So yeah. I think I'm just coming out of an intense period of a lot of trauma work and healing. And now I'm just learning to exist and trying not to be bored, which is my case sometimes. Anyways, that was a ramble on health for you and mental health recovery. I'm going to continue this walk and get back inside and start knitting my other project and probably watching Netflix. Peace. And one more thing about coming out of survival mode is you've been processing a lot. I mean, yes, this contradicts to what I said. Survival mode, yes, you can process a lot during survival mode, but you process different things when you're out of survival mode. And those different things now that I'm out of survival mode, is I'm starting to look around. I'm starting to be aware of the people around me and surroundings. And your standards kind of rise, and you're like, well, I'm kind of over this whole bit in bed all day thing. And you start to want to engage in activities and connect with people. But that doesn't happen really overnight or easily even, because you've been in this cocoon of yours for a little bit, and then it all seems a little foreign. starting to come out of your shell, which served a good purpose for the duration of it. But when it's time to come out of that, social anxiety, completely understandable and probably widespread as well, I think. Of course, because you're not a part of healing is that you're probably just not going to be the same person when you come out of it. You have new standards, new boundaries, new interests potentially, and the list goes on. And sometimes it's brave. It's brave to just start to live your life again, because so many goddamn times life has thrown something at you every single time you take those steps forward. Now that's a whole other topic that has a lot to be discussed about, but what I was saying now is one thing is being busy healing, but next thing is building the kind of life that you want to live, and taking the necessary steps towards it can cause a lot of anxiety and probably elicits all kinds of fears. Your life doesn't look the same it does before the process, so it doesn't have to be this supercharged or super speeded process. I mean, that's going to take time. You're going to be like, do I like this? Do I like that? Do I like them? Do I like them? Who's in my life? How should I spend my time, etc. How should I use my energy? How do I protect my energy? Those kind of questions arise. So, forgetting my original point now, but yeah, just talking about the anxiety that comes after a long process of being quite introverted and turned inwards into self-reflection. When that leaves, you have a lot more room to explore life. So social anxiety might be something that you experience, but it doesn't need to be a fast process. You just give yourself time to listen to yourself. Let's not fall back into, if you have this tendency, which I do, which is just to run away from problems or distract myself. It's about giving yourself time to sit with your emotions, listen to your body, and listen to the anxiety. Where is it coming from, and what is it trying to do to you? What is it trying to make you see, hear, feel, hear? Use it as a tool, because that's essentially what it is. Anxiety is a signal for you to pay attention to X, Y, Z. So, take it as a privilege. You feel deeply, and you're sensitive, and that's absolutely a superpower in life. Not everyone's antennas aren't as tuned as maybe some of you guys is. And give yourself time for the process, because it can be intimidating. But that's the point of life. You just go towards that difficult thing. Go toward difficult things, and you either get a lesson and you learn, or you might find something great happening on the other side of it, which is super exciting. That's the most exciting part of life. Usually it grants you opportunities when you do the right thing. It's infallible. It's built in the universe. It rewards well-made decisions compared to other decisions that might not have been as wise. As you can tell, I have a lot to talk about this topic, but I think just for now I'll let it go.